What if I told you that the most connected generation in history is the loneliest when it comes to love? What if I told you that Gen Z might be the first generation that doesn't even know how to date? Because here's the truth, Gen Z is undateable. Not because they're broken, but because the rules have changed. And nobody taught them how to play the game. Let me break it down. First sign, nobody wants to be seen first. Not truly, not raw, not unguarded. Everyone's hiding behind aesthetics, filters, and captions with just enough sarcasm to pretend they don't care. But here's the twist, they do care. Deeply. But they've been trained to treat openness like a liability. To show interest is to lose leverage. To feel something real is to give someone the power to ghost you. So what happens? Everyone dates like they're at war. One hand on their phone, the other hand on the eject button. Second sign, too many options, zero depth. Swipe culture sold Gen Z a lie, that more options equal better chances at love. But the truth? More options just means more people you'll never fully choose, more profiles, more comparisons, more excuses to never commit. Because when love becomes a buffet, nobody sits down to actually eat. You're always looking for the next plate, the next high, the next perfect person, except perfection doesn't exist, only patterns do. And the pattern right now? Ghost, distract, repeat. Third sign, hookups replaced connection. Let's be real, sex is everywhere, but connection? That's rare. Gen Z grew up in a world where access to bodies was instant, but access to hearts, that takes work, that takes risk, that takes patience, and patience is in short supply. So, what do we have now? People sleeping together who've never had a real conversation. People in situationships for years, because defining it might ruin the vibe. But the truth is, there is no vibe. It's just emotional purgatory. All chemistry, no commitment. All intimacy, no investment. And that doesn't build love, that builds confusion, insecurity, resentment. Fourth sign, nobody wants to need anyone. And that sounds empowering, right? Be strong, be independent, don't rely on anyone. Except, you weren't built to do everything alone. Somewhere along the line, vulnerability got labeled as weakness. Now everyone's too proud to say, I miss you, I need you, I care. Gen Z dates like lone wolves, but forgets that wolves survive in packs. Hyper-independence isn't strength, it's trauma in disguise. And until you heal that part, you'll keep pushing good people away just to prove you don't need them. Fifth sign, clout replaced character. We used to date people for how they made us feel. Now we date people for how they look. Online, the follow account, the blue check, the curated highlight reel. But here's the kicker. You can't build a relationship on a reel. You don't date someone's profile. You date their patience, their tone in an argument, the way they show up when it's not convenient. But Gen Z, they're stuck in the loop of performance. Everyone wants to be seen. Nobody wants to be known. And so, we build connections on aesthetics, only to be shocked when they collapse in real life. Love doesn't live in the algorithm. It lives in the unfiltered, the awkward, the boring, the real. So yeah, maybe Gen Z is undateable right now, but not because they're lost, not because they're broken, because they've been handed a culture that's afraid of real love. But here's the plot twist. You don't have to play the game like everyone else. You don't have to ghost before you get ghosted. You don't have to pretend you don't care. You don't have to treat people like distractions just to protect your ego. You can show up different. You can show up real. You can say, I want something that feels like peace. I'm not here to perform. I'm here to connect. And guess what? The second you do that, you stop being undateable. You stop being unforgettable. So here's the question. Are you going to keep playing the same broken game? Or are you going to rewrite the rules? Because real love, it's not dead. It's just waiting for someone brave enough to show up with honesty in a world full of masks. Be that person.